Okay, here, I'll fix my camera. There we go. So, good morning, guys. So, we are obviously gapping down. So, there's two major issues. Actually, let me just go through the whole rigmarole, right? This is Simon with Trade and Perform Coaching. This is how you get a hold of me if you'd like a trial to the room, tradeandperform@gmail.com. Okay, so if you'll take a moment to read this disclaimer, past performance is not indicative of future results. You can lose a lot of money trading futures. I strongly recommend, especially while they're on sale, you get 80% off of the 80% off of the hold on one second. Oh, I am. Okay, hold on a second here. Let's try that again. How's that going? Any better? Is that good, Ed? I see what happened. Okay, cool. So, at any rate, past performance not indicative of future results, and I strongly recommend you use the Apex account, especially they're 80% off right now. Um, Huge advantage there in the march to the million. As you know, I'm not going to keep going through it every morning, but just big advantage. So, a couple things. We're gapping below yesterday's low. Let's get oriented as to where we are, right? So, thank you, Randy. Thank you, Ed. Okay, so when you look, this is the RTH um, 5-day moving average. I have not clarified. So someone can verify that 1950 on a 15-minute chart is the 5-day moving average. Whatever this average is, it's important, but I got to go back and verify that I have the right number. I have 1950 as a 5-day moving average. So I showed it 15995 on the RTH only. On the 24 hours, I show it right here at 16871. What you will see is the extensions back up off that moving average in general. Both those moving averages will provide a big counter rotation. Okay, so that's the first thing to be aware is buyers are still in overall control. Secondly, the obvious thing is bears have like pull this chart in just on a 15-minute basis, right? Look, bears have to break this right here, like, and not just break it a little, like it has to be gone. All we're doing right now from that low is if you take a 50-60 back on that, don't pay attention to all the extra lines. It's just something I'm working on here. Why didn't that work? Let's try this again. There we go. Here to approximately here, right? Here's your 50-60 back. So it came down. They attempted below the 5-day moving average. They pushed down to approximately the 50-60 retrace from the original push off the bottom, which was all the way down here, going back to December 4th, right? So now we're back over here. And if you look just below, yes, we're underneath, but the clear target is this right here. Right? So you might want to mark off two extra lines on your chart, which is 16696 and 16608. Why? That's the 50-60 off the bounce that we just had for the move back up. Right? So, and then obviously the 16332, when you get behind there, you know that you have to have stopped sitting there, so you would expect a responsive buy in that area. Additionally, if you look, we're down 130, so let's double it. Right now we're trending down 832. Let's just take off another 200 off of that and go to 632. That puts us right, if we go down another 200 from where we are, that puts us right here. Okay, this gets us, we're down 130. If we get to 16,700, right? That puts us down 260 on the day, and this would put us down 300, and that lands us right in between that 50-60. So you can surmise quite easily. Once I get past 16,696, and the 382, by the way, is sitting at 16,870. That's the other piece, right? So I'd expect some kind of attempted response at 16,778, 96, and then 08, right? Those are easy levels to go, hey, I'm looking for options in here. I'm looking for swings out of this area. I'm looking for some kind of initial response out of that location, right? So let's transfer those over to our 5-minute chart. Hold on. We'll just mark them off. Where did they go? I know where it is. Cheeky. So, oh, here. It's okay. Here. So I have 16,778. We can just add this, right? We'll make it red so remember. Line width 5. Okay, so that's the 382. Then we have 696. So let's just call it 70. Wait. 696. That. And then we have 608. We'll just call it this. Those are my three, from a fib standpoint, three critical levels that are on the potential block today, right? And if you look, and then so let's minimize those. So if you look, we just missed that 779. We're right at the 382 retrace, right? And then if we really get beat up, there'll be a support here, just underneath it, and then you have the last one all the way down here. And this is a prior day's low, by the way, that green line, right? So these are the areas we want to pay attention to. What am I looking for? Very, very simple. And we've already have a pretty good taste of it today, right? I'm looking for star down, star up. So if you look, I'm looking for the star with the yellow dot. For me, on the Apex accounts, that's a 2-contract trade, right? Obviously, your entry would have been 20. You extended to 40, which gave you your 10 to 20 points. This morning, I did not take that trade. Obviously, we're not trading pre-market. These are exactly what I mean by once you've gone into trend, if you want to be very aggressive, right? These are 1-contract trades for me. You have to be willing to take the stop on the trade. Once you have momentum, they work. If you do not have momentum, they stop you. That's all there is. That's all there is to that. They stop you if you do not have momentum to the downside. We will use the 5-minute lines, the 5-minute balance, opening balance, to determine our bias up or down. If we get above our 5-minute bias, our targets are yesterday's IB low and IB high, right? This area right here, just so you can write down, the 16,684 to 16,855 is the 50-60 retrace of the move from, it was last Thursday, let's see, it was the 50-60 of this move right over here. Okay, so that's what that is, right? Obviously the bigger picture, you can constantly draw 50-60s. They've obviously attempted to hold that 50-60 the first time through. You got a big response. Now we're underneath it. It's become resistance. So they're going to have to get past that to retest yesterday's 5-minute balance area, right? Very simple. Okay, and then what are we looking for? Where are we with relationship to that 5 minute high low? And remember, we have a lot of stuff. Excuse me. We have a lot of stuff on the table today. There's a bond auction. There is a ECB speaker at 9:15. So, guys, if you're going to trade during that ECB speaker, you accept the outcome of that, right? You got to decide, I trade it or I don't trade it. It got difficult last time. The last 2 times she's spoken, it's really kind of made the market go vertical one way or the other. I think it's been vertical up, if I recall, right? We have econ right at 9 o'clock. I've posted all this in the Slack channel. Let's see. We had just had U.S. industrial production at 8:15, utilization, all that, yada yada. 9 a.m. Housing market index. 9:15 ECB president speaks. 12 o'clock 20-year bond auction that's likely to move the market. And then 1 o'clock Fed beige book. 2 o'clock Fed Williams. I won't be around for either one of those in terms of trading wise. I just don't care to trade during them, and if it gets too hard during ECB. So this is important, right? It's okay to have a down day. It's not okay to blow up or have a massive tilt day when there's an ECB speaker. I'm speaking to every member in this room, right? Decide. So first of all, remember, our march to $1 million is predicated on 4 days a week, 10 months out of the year, and 20 accounts, and then deviations from that, or not deviations, but mathematical differences between if you have 5, 10, 15, 20 accounts, right? But the whole point is, look, 5 accounts at $50,000 a year is $250,000. Most people would kill for a $250,000 a year job, right? It's really, really important, okay? You can make a lot of money day trading and trading in general, but it's easier to make a lot of money with a lot of money. So I totally agree that you shouldn't always trade your P&L and you should watch and this, that, and the other. But if you have a small stack and you've got to build a big stack, you've got to stack up the days, right? It's got to be 300, 600, 900, 1,000, and you got to do it for a while. So you have a stack that you can attack with that won't kill you if you're wrong, right? It's a lot easier for a guy with $1 million to make $100,000 than it is with a guy with $100,000 to make $100,000, right? You got to get to the million to have the easy time making the 100,000, right? And so yes, all the trading books say don't trade your P&L, don't trade to a number, just follow your process. To me, I've got about 2 hours of solid focus, max, right? And I don't want to stress about it. I just want to let the trade come to me as it's possible. This is an old Globex low, by the way, that we're testing here. Obviously, you can just move it down. Let me do that. This is now Globex low here. There we go. So that's my 2 cents. Don't overpress today, right? You don't have to. Okay? I'm going to say that again. Don't overpress today. You don't have to. Pure and simple, right? Just relax. I'll call the trades as I see them. Hopefully I can get done before Fed Wonder Woman speaks or ECB Wonder Person speaks and go from there. I'll grab my phone. Oh, I do have too many days loaded. You're right. Sorry. I'll hit reload, recalculate. There we go. Again, don't be surprised by open drive higher. Just complete possibility, right? And again, I'm going to wait to establish the 5-minute level. I'd rather wait out the first 15 minutes. So I'll be on reduced size if I trade initially, right? And we'll go from there. Star down. Not quite the top of the channel, but pretty close. Again, that would have been a one contract trade anyways if you're super fast on it. A little warm coffee. It's cold outside still. Down we go to come down and retest. Remember, this is the 382 retrace right here. So you got to figure someone's going to be looking to shoot it into those numbers, right? So that doesn't mean, hey, I'm buying it there. It means I'm looking for the algo to fire. There's star. You can trap back into that star, right? That's usually a very good setup. But I don't guess. Why? For this very reason. It's not like, oh, that's the level, let me buy it. It's more like, let me look for the setup and see what the setup says. So there's no way I can trap there. That'll be a POC over POC if it closes. So it would be a 9-7 trade, right? But it's got to close there, 9-8. And it's still within the first 5 minutes, guys. Orange dot, white dot down. If that reverses back into that and closes, that would be a 9-3 entry. Not anymore. This is exactly why you don't guess at a level, right? You don't guess at IB low. You let the algo tell you where to come in on the trade, right? Oh, that's a nice star down. Down 200 on the day. Orange dot down. You need a dot. That's going to be a POC over POC at 77. That prints. 78, excuse me. Again, first half hour, I would go with one contract if you're going to trade it. And that's star up as well. And that's clearly open drive lower on a gap down, right? So just keep that in mind. It does feel a bit like catching a piano. Looking for orange dot up or point of control shift, star up. Nothing so far. be long if you're willing to take it early. Again, I recommend small size. It's clearly open drive lower. If it prints, 72. Got to get the point of control above that bar, or it's a no-go. They're trying. Nope. No dice. Just wait for the signal. Doesn't matter whether it reverses or not. It matters whether it reverses on our signal, right? Fifty retraces at 16,697.50. Right, that is as open drive lower as it gets. So go through your protocols, right? Hold on 1 second. Really early. Okay, thank you, Ian. So we have Lagarde. Lagarde? Is that a Lagarde? I don't know. However, ECB president speaking, right? So just keep that in mind. It's going to be choppy through there. Just do it however you want to do it, right? It's just, it is what it is, and there's not much you can do about that. Got it. Thank you. So does it work like a half hour later kind of thing? Like they make their statement, then it goes QA starts like at 9:15, Ian? Or it does not, does it work the same way as the Fed does kind of thing? So she's speaking, right? There's star up, that's B grade. Why? It's not touching the fourth channel, it's off the low, it's after the turn, and this is not my cup of soup, right? So go to your half hour time frame on your profile, one timing to the downside. 5-minute chart. Clearly, one timing to the downside. Well, that's on the RTH, but you have to get a clean close above this bar right here to end it, which is fine when it does. And if you go to the 15-minute, you're going to have to close above this bar. We don't have a 15-minute bar down, but we're clearly open drive lower from the prior day and overnight, right? So let's just wait to see if we can get above the 5-minute. Oh, awesome. Thanks. That's freaking fantastic. So here's your 5-minute initial balance, right? IB high, IB low. You got to get a close above here or a close below here to determine direction. An orthodox close above or below. We have lots of tools, right? So take a breath. Lots of tools to figure out which way the market's going to turn. And we don't, I'm going to say this again, we do not, as a team, need today. We just do not need it. Okay, we have plenty, and I mean plenty, of time to make money. Okay. New low. Wait for the signal, and you do not have to trade while she's speaking. Down 223, heading for that 16,716. That's not a signal in and of itself. And we've established a orthodox close below IB low, which means this whole area has to be worked back through to get the reversal. Okay, doesn't mean it can't. Just means it's got to get back above this 16,844, and then it pushes up into the 50-60 from there, right? If you're not losing money right now, you've done a great job. Congratulations, you've done your job. Okay. I'm looking for a 6,716 and 6,697 as locations to get bigger pushes out of those areas. But again, nothing mandatory from that. That's star up. It's valid for one contract only. And that might be why it's valid for one contract only. Once again, if you cannot tell that this is open drive lower, you do not need today to make it profitable. You just don't. Okay? You don't, I'm going to say it again. You don't need today to be profitable. That's going to be POC over POC at 32. I'll take it with one contract at 33. Buy stop, 33. Long 33, going to stop 22. And that's star into star as well. It's one star, there's no dot on it, and of course the conditions are really raw for taking that, right? So you don't, I'm going to keep reiterating this, you don't have to trade it, right? Just simple and clear, you don't have to trade it, right? That looks like it's going to stop. Stopped. And that's all right with me. One. And that is as free fall as it gets. Okay. We're down 247. That'll be another close into a star. That's normally good. Again, I'll try it with one. Why? I'm coming out of support, right? Coming out of support. And I'm willing to try that coming out of support, right? So that's orange dot into star, right? Orange dot down, orange dot up. Your target is IB low, okay? I'm long. One contract. Stop goes right at the low. And I have no idea if the trade will work. Zero. I may end up with two stops on one contract, right? So it's just called stop 13. Why am I trading one contract? So I don't run out of chances to trade it, right? The environment pretty much demands it anyways. And I'm going to try and target that. I'm actually going to try and see if I can push that all the way up to 17,655. 755. Looks like I'm going to get stopped on it before it happens, but so we'll see. This is the part where you have no control. You're just trying to decide whether you're going to trade or not trade. And we're in that 10-minute window where there's a lot of chop and stop. We're coming into a housing number here in a couple minutes. Looks like the answer on that is going to be we stop. Stopped. Stopped again. I mean, new low again, excuse me. I got to leave it alone now in that 10-minute window. I won't trade it. I'll wait till after 9:50. Now we have 9:15 that presser starting. So easy way to skip the day, cut size. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This day does not matter unless you make it so. It's pure and simple. Does not matter. You make a decision. You trade in that 8:50 to 9 o'clock or you don't. There's a lot of stops in that window. And we have the pressure coming up here at 9 o'clock. We're already down 230 points, right? So the open drive lower is what you had to defend against. I did. I took 1 and 1, 2 stops. 2 stops, right? 2 stops or 3 stops. Either way, it's fine. 1 contract, right? So I'm down, but I'm down minorly, right? I can live without outcome. That outcome bothers me literally 0. I'm going to say that again. That outcome bothers me literally 0. Why? I understood I was an open drive lower. I understood that it was trend day down. I understood I was gap below, and I understand I'm underneath the IB low. 1, 2, 3 items. I cut my trade size, right? Not a devastating down day, and I have plenty of time to see if anything else sets up, and I'm really just 1 trade away from flat, realistically, right? So that's why I'm doing it the way that I am doing it, okay? Backside test at that support level again. Pressing hard down. If that gets stuffed, tweezer's bottom with an orange dot down is usually really good to the upside. It's too bad it's right before econ. And then you're going to get star up. Like, it's about as good as it gets. That's just freaking unfortunate. I'm surprised there's 0 lift into that number. It's about as hard an open drive lower as we've seen in quite a while. Pressed again with the star down. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I mean, it's just not an hour I trade anyways. New low coming up on NQ. New low it is. Remember, there'll be econ, and then we have the whole press conference thing. So the day may be a little bit shot. But we're already at a range multiple. So what we're looking for is one timing to stop and then retraces to get long. Is the safest way, if there's a safe way to play this, is the safest way to play this. I would reduce size until you see it working, meaning the process working, the market having rotation, or otherwise just stay totally chill. Is anyone at a loss? I will, Sean, but there's too much cross currents today. But I will. Zero reaction. Open drive lower as it gets, guys. You can just stand back. I'll take that on one contract at 97. Stop at the low. 98 is with the fill. Let's just say 87 stop. It's on a free fall. It's one contract trades. I can live with it. Again, I'm pushing for that 55. You don't have to. You obviously have 10 points out of it if that's what you need. I'm on one car. So there's not much else I can do. I'm counter trading a trend day down. Again, you have your 10 points. If you want to take your 10 and go and blow, I'm totally understand. Okay, I lied. Flat 27. That's as good as I can do on that. That gets me back profitable on the day. I'm good. Anyone else take it? Good job, Gregory. I'll wait for my next setup. That is how you work it carefully on hard trend down. Sorry, one of my dumbs is hung up, guys. Give me just 1 second. Let's see if I can fix it. That was a pretty nice trade. Too bad they made it so hard to get it accurately. This would set up your potential tweezers top. Obviously the target is at 16754 and the IB low. Right. By the way, Randy, that's orange dot down, orange dot up with white dot. It's a really strong combo. Just FYI. But Randy, you should be in good shape. You should only all those trades should have been one contract trades for you. Right? Like you shouldn't be getting buried on this, especially considering you should be in pretty good shape. Yeah, no, I agree. That was not a place to take the short. That was an impulse move off the bottom. Look, you had three successive waves smaller on the right, right? What you really want, see, there's your tweezers top. You don't get the dot down. What you want is a tweezers top with a dot down here, or revisit to this as of now. This lower level down here. One of the two. You're still looking for that 43, either to get a dot up into that 43, potential head and shoulders setup, etc., etc. Of course, she starts speaking in just a couple of minutes, or they all start speaking. So I said, these days you can put on your calendar. They're just difficult. When the ECB, for whatever reason, they didn't matter before and now they do, which is fine. But yeah, you just gotta let that go. Hold on a sec, guys. I'll be right back. anyways, guys, so obviously they're driving right to where I thought they were going to drive, which is this IV low, and we'll see what happens from there. And so that's the prior day's low that they're trying to knock off there. And I hate when we go from straight down to straight up, but that's all right. I'll just let the trade. That's going to be star down. I'll take that with one contract. 44 was the fill. And I'm going to stop it there at 57. For better or for worse, as they say. And again, I'm trading during an ECB speaker meeting, right? So please respect that for yourself, right? If you can't handle that idea or that concept, you should not be trading it at all. She can just say boo and it can fly one way or the other, right? So please keep that in mind. Flat 27, 28 is what I got filled. Anyone else take that trade? Sihan, if I'm pronouncing that right, I do always use a 5-minute balance. At least of now until I see the evidence change for another, but I don't use smaller than that. Also, the IB high, IB low for the first hour. And Sihan, if you'll do me a favor, if you'll email me your questions, I can answer them in a video. While I'm trading, it's hard for me to circle off and answer questions. Or you can direct message me here, and I'll get to them once I'm done. Here, I'll send you a direct message. So let's see if we can retest some areas lower. Let's do the 50-60 retrace. We'll put you right back in here between 23 and 15. And then there's also obviously potential head and shoulders here off the left. We'll see if it sets up. But again, that ECB pressure is going on. So we'll see. So again, to reiterate, we're in trend day down. As Randy's pointed out, we flipped on that 15-minute. A lot of that has been based on the pause that we had between the end of their original statements and now their presser, whenever that starts, right? Which we don't know. Ian, any word on whether they've started yet, buddy? You bet. See, we just have to Stay focused on the process here. If anyone is struggling, guys, take a breath, let it reset. Again, the important thing, 4 days a week, 10 months out of the year. Do not make this your Waterloo. Yeah, I agree. Do not make this your Waterloo, guys. Not worth it. Just simply not worth it. Down into that 50 retrace. And I agree with the end statement with the PA would suggest there's a QA going on. Let's see if I have anything showing up over here. Doesn't really matter one way or the other. I have nothing coming across on financial juice, which means nothing. Orange dot down into the 50-60. No white dot on it, so it's not a candidate for an instant reversal. And we're coming into that 16 to 11 support area. It's good to be green again. I maybe should be surrendering right here and just take the green and go. Thank you, Deja. So guys, did it help this morning stepping y'all through the open drive lower and how I was taking the setup, reducing the size, talking to the guys in the room specifically? Like Randy, was that helpful? Did it help you see and understand the risk you were taking and how it was setting up, etc., etc.? We're into that 50-60 retrace. The PA is not very fast, so if you trade this, again, I suggest reduce size still. It's not trading, like, look, it's just not trading like it was yesterday. It's the easiest way to compare it, right? So let's just see where we get up. The wave down was not very strong on the sell side. but still. Still haven't gotten the point of control above this thing. Potential tweezer areas are here. Head and shoulders here. And then the weakest one is right over here. So that was a situation where I would have liked to have gotten a dot coming out over here, and I didn't get it on this time frame. So the one you want is either this one or this one. This is the weakest one right over here. There you go. Interesting. Wow. Just no fun when the ECB people are speaking. Star down, I'll short one contract at 55. Stop 65. One contract. 65 stop. Again, I do not care if it stops. I understand what I'm playing with. One. Right? I know the ECB president is speaking right now, right? So I have to expect that I'm going to get stopped on some of these or choose not to trade. If I can't handle the stop, don't trade. Very, very simple formula. Scale. Got screwed on that. 45 filled. Or closed. There's nothing to scale. It's one contract. It's so closed. Randy, so buddy, look, when you write, I'm at my max drawdown, and if that's upsetting to you, right, then you can't trade open drive lower, brother. Right? You just got to let it go. Like when everything's there, and you go, oh, I'm upset that I'm my max down, right? If that is your max down, then you got to stop, right? 100% just stop and go, I can't trade open drive lower, right? And relative to what we've been talking about, you should skip those, right? They really upset you, right? Whereas they don't upset me. I cut my size, right? And I'll just keep plugging away at one at a time until I get my trade set up correctly, right? So, and then I'm going to take whatever the various setups are. When we're down almost 300 points and I get that high odds setup, I'm going to take that and try to push it, which is what saved my day, right? So you can follow me on the trades. I did say, hey, this is my trade up front. I don't have a problem with you doing that. But it is challenging. You're looking for a tweezers top or a head and shoulders over here again. If we can break this right shoulder, then come back in. So star up at top of the channel, I don't take that, right? And you're trading during the ECB speaking, right? Randy, I'm sending you a DM. and they're talking. This is ridiculous PA here, just so you know. Woo! If you are on the wrong side of this for a second, they're going to just shoot you. So I'm going to tell everyone the same thing I would tell anyone else, right? Trading. Okay, well, whatever. She's speaking. The whole point behind this, and Davos should be outlawed, but whatever. The whole point behind this is that the deal with the ECB speaker is hard. It's the first thing I tried to relay this morning, right? I cut my trade size, and you saw how I traded it. I took a couple of stops, and I took 2-3 winners, right? And that's why I'm positive on the day. And the deal is I let my winners stretch. Maybe I got lucky, maybe I didn't. Hard to say. Tweezers top with a push back in at the high into the initial IB. You're looking for a bar with a star down or dot down here. Did she may have finished speaking. The mayor's gone, oh good, she's gone. No bar down, no indication for short. That was hard. Okay. If I say, hey, if you're following me, so let me be clear. If I point out a trade that I'm taking, right? Please don't cherry pick which ones I'm taking, right? Because you're not going to get the result I get. You're not. If you're trading the process that I suggest you trade, which I think the stars are great, right? I think the stars are great, okay? But not during an ECB speaker or a Fed, specifically ECB president or Federal Reserve Chair speaking, right? That's as hard as it freaking gets, right? It's as hard as it freaking gets. And what's happening now? What happens every time? They drive down to the downside, right? And then they drive up to the upside. Why? It's totally unpredictable. It's based on what someone said, right? You don't have to choose to trade that. So I have not exceeded one contract. I'm up about $600 in my, I was down about 600, then I'm up about 600, okay? And all I have done is followed the process, taken my stops along the way, cut my trade size, because I recognized that the environment was hard, right? Which is an important recognition, right? And I'm letting the rest ride. That's it. I'm not making today. Remember, the March to $1 million is 4 days a week, 10 months out of the year, $300 a day. You don't have to choose to trade the most difficult day, and that's to every single person I'm coaching. Every single person I am coaching. It's right up there on the first thing I posted. I wrote it. Yeah, I'm cool with that, Randy. I posted it right here this morning. Look. Let's see. Where it is? It was early this morning. 8. No. Man, I hate this thing sometimes. 907. Here. Dang it, why does it skip so fast? Look at that, it's just weird. It skipped through days of it. I don't understand why it shouldn't be doing that. Oh, I am cutting out. Okay, let me see if I can fix it. I don't know what's wrong with it, but right here we go. Very frustrating. I don't know why this thing is skipping all over the place. Anyways, I posted it first thing in the morning. 3, 9:20. It should have been like at 7 a.m. And then it makes this massive jump. Never mind. It's up there somewhere. Go scroll through it. Right. So, and I'm cutting out. So what I'm going to do is cut the YouTube channel and see if I can fix the audio for the room. Guys, thanks for joining us. It's simple, right? Don't trade the hardest days out there, and if you do, cut your size just like I did. That's how I survived today, and I got to profitability, and I'm not guessing where it's going. I'm following the algo. That's how it works every day. I appreciate you joining us. I'll be back tomorrow morning.